Economist says Trump's tariffs are a win-win strategy to negotiate trade deals. And I agree. I agree. That is part of our leverage is that we can tariff the same people that are tariffing us in hopes of we get a better deal because these tariffs are actually hurting us. We're not allowed in certain markets. Like our producers aren't allowed in certain markets, like our beef producers and things like that. They can't go in some countries and sell their product because they want their country's product to be sold, which is unfair to us. So it is a tool. I agree, it is a win-win. And then for the countries that don't want to that don't want to negotiate with us, we can keep the tariffs and use that to eliminate income tax, which I'm all for. So we're gonna play the clip in here with the this economist has to say about it. He worked for Reagan. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from Fox Business, and they report that former Reagan economic advisor Art Laffer said Tuesday on Varney and Co. that both the world and U.S. would see benefit from President Donald Trump's tariffs and the trade negotiations that arise out of them. His appearance on Varney and Co. came after he and Stephen Moore wrote an opinion piece titled "A Win-Win Exit Strategy for Trump on Tariffs" that was published Monday in the Wall Street Journal. All right, so let's just get right to the clip here. Here we go.
President Trump blames previous administrations for countries taking advantage of us. Watch
I
this.
agree.
We've been ripped off and taken advantage of by many countries over the years, and can't do it anymore. Just can't do it anymore.
I agree with that. I mean, a lot of our presidents, many of our past presidents, sold us out. They sold us out. One of the main sellouts, I believe, was Bill Clinton. He sold our nuclear secrets to China. A whole bunch of stuff. I can go into Nixon and how Nixon went in and started trading and stuff with China, and that opened up the whole thing to China being able to abuse us when it comes to trade deals and stuff. So I mean, many presidents sold us out, and we finally got a president in here that's willing to stand up for the American people, the working class.
Can't be the stupid people anymore. And it's all because of the people that sat in the seat right here. Not your seat, but this seat. They allowed things to happen to our country that they shouldn't have allowed to happen on trade and other things, many other things.
Okay, now look at this new op-ed in the Wall Street Journal. Title, "A Win-Win Exit Strategy for Trump on Tariffs," end quote. Art Laffer wrote that, and he joins me now. Okay, Art, in brief, explain what is the win-win strategy.
The win-win strategy is Trump is just phenomenal at negotiating. And Stuart, what he says is extremely true. These people have far higher tariffs and non-tariff barriers and quotas than we do. It is unfair. It has been done. But what he's done now is gotten them into a position where they're going to lose their access to the U.S. market if they don't redress these types of inequities that they.
And there's the leverage. We have the biggest market in the world. We are the world's biggest consumers. And so if they don't have access to our market, they're going to lose a lot of money behind that. That's why over 70 countries already came to the table talking about they're willing to negotiate. I don't think China can hold out for long. I don't think they can, because again, we are the number one consumers in the world. Everyone wants to sell to us.
They've done, and Trump is the master negotiator, and I'm watching these people calling into Trump. This is exactly what he does beautifully and wonderfully, and I believe he can negotiate freer trade deals, get those tariffs way down, much lower than they are now, by primarily those people lowering their tariffs and us keeping ours low or even going lower, and it'll be a win-win. The world will prosper, we'll have a great economy, and the U.S. will be in perfect, beautiful shape for economic growth. And that's what he's good at doing, and that's what he did at the G7 meeting in 2018, I think it was. I have it in there, where he offered to lower our tariffs if they'd get rid of theirs. It's just what we need, and it would lead to world prosperity and a reduction in hostilities.
Well, we know that that is the policy, is the stated policy for a long time. What's new? What is your exit strategy? What's new here?
Well, the exit strategy is he threatens the tariffs, which he has already done, so to bring them to the table. It's clear that 70 countries have called they're coming to the table fast. Now the exit strategy is he doesn't impose those tariffs. He takes those tariffs away. He even reduces our tariffs on those countries if they will eliminate their tariffs on us. And that would be the exit strategy, which would be a win-win-win-win. That's just what we need. If those tariffs go in and stay in for a long time, Stuart, and if we have a huge escalation of tariffs as is currently planned, that would be disastrous for the U.S. and the world economy. Believe me when I tell you that. That is not a good answer.
But what's this about? You're suggesting that the president should go on global television and make a worldwide offer of you cut your tariffs and we'll cut ours, we'll get a deal. A global TV presentation. Is that part of your idea?
Well, I don't know if a global TV one is the best, but you just look at it there. He should be able to negotiate getting rid of tariffs for them and for us. A trade war, everyone loses in trade wars, but we all don't lose the same amount. Americans will lose a lot less than the foreigners do, so therefore they have an incentive to come down to the table and really drop their tariffs on our products. It will help them as well, too, Stuart. I mean, their tariffs on our products hurt their countries.
Okay, Art Laffer, thanks very much for joining us.
Yeah. Like I said, they have a lot more to lose than we do because we are the world's biggest, the number one consumers. Everyone want to be a part of this market, be part of our market. So they'll all come to the table sooner or later. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.